of awkward. So,
and just like last game, if VP reads the early game rotations of LGD as well as they did last game, it should be smooth sailing for them. But there is much more window for error from this LGD
Okay,
lineup.
so it's a better Spirit Breaker draft coming out from PSG.LGD. Are we going to see game 3? Yes, no?
if he buys better items on the cow...
No, it's not a yes, no. Come on.
Okay.
Up.
Yes!
Yeah.
Wow, they're very convinced that it's going to be a third game. Let's see it. Let's see it play out. Let's head over to our commentary team of Sun Svensson.
Thank you. Very confident panel there that LGD will be able to take game number 2 with another Spirit Breaker, Cinderin.
Yes.
What do you think?
I agree with what they said. I think it's a better Spirit Breaker game, but there are also a couple of things. Man, we've been talking about the Spirit Breaker a lot. I mean, it really is just the
cool hero,
right? But
might have to hold your horses here, Cinderman. Save has to disrupt himself. Bloodright's going to be a little bit too early there.
Well, they are in the same team.
That's
so
true.
It have hurt him.
All right. Well, don't worry. I haven't looked at the lineups yet, Cinderin, so tell me about them.
Right. So, as far as LGD goes, this time around, I think they have like easier ways of setting themselves up for success. They have the Spirit Breaker stun, they have the Sand King stun, and they have global follow-up. So any way they start the fight, they can really get value out of this, I think. I like the Silencer pick a lot against Phoenix. It's a very classic counter. You last word him. If he tries to dive, he can't break it. He just comes back to you. So it's a good lane counter in that sense. It's also a pretty good hero against Faceless Void, in my opinion. So I think there's definitely options there. As far as VP goes, this time around, I think it's less clear-cut that they just have better late game, because I don't think there's this uncountered PL version hero here. It's a Void, and Void doesn't have the same type of games, I would say. But if you have stuns and you have damage, you can always somewhat solve Void compared to PL. But aside from that, VP are in a lot of comfort heroes. They played a great game last game, so they're definitely warm. They got the Phoenix on Kingslayer once again, save on one of his best in Shadow Demon. And a couple of things that they've done this game. They've actually countered the Spirit Breaker again. I think they really respected what Xiao8 managed to do last game. So they have both Demonic Purge and Rupture against this. And getting Bulldoze removed on Spirit Breaker feels so bad. And they have this reliable way of doing it from range. Or it's late match, it's going to be better.
Yep. And that's kind of what the panel was talking about. The Razor is what dumpstered him. There's going to be a courier taken out. Y is going to take that for himself. Very nicely done. But they ended up banning that out. So we should have a better time here. Of course, they could have still picked some heroes that would... Not that Void Spirit's bad against Spirit Breaker necessarily, but it is melee versus melee. And Spirit Breaker, at the very least, I don't think... I have a hard time believing he'll die in that lane, at least not early on.
And the reason they picked the Void Spirit was because he's a hard target to charge, right? Like, they saw the Spirit Breaker tanking, they're like, okay, they're going to do some Spirit Breaker shenanigans again.
Let's pick the other spell that looks like Doppelganger.
Yes.
Very similar.
Exactly. So again, they picked heroes that are difficult to charge. Shadow Demon, Phoenix, and Void, and Void.
Where's OD? I think they forgot about that hero.
I think Ice Rock forgot about OD for a while. And then he remembered it.
His card is ridiculous.
And then he remembered it, and then he remembered, oh, I hate OD, so here's a useless change. And then he forgot about it again.
Yeah.
So it's great.
But he remembered again with the shard now.
Yeah. It's quite seeing a lot of play so far.
People just haven't caught on yet. These pro players, so-called pro players,
honestly,
beyond
that's a fair
getting
point.
pressured into the dive. Gets the Burrow Strike off, trying to turn this around a little bit. Kingslayer is very healthy, but not after that Illuminate comes through. Either way, First Blood goes the way of Virtus Pro. Kingslayer does eventually die, though.
Yep.
So talk to me about this Coddle offlane we've been seeing now that the channel time on Illuminate's been put to a fixed rate.
So you have a lot more damage faster, especially later on in your skill build. People will start getting a point in Solar Bind for the amp. They start buying different items because it ramps up faster. You farm camps, you push waves. He is positioned for this game, but...
Oh my god!
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's what happened. That's how they buffed it. He can kill people now.
This lane is honestly just filthy. Like, it is so strong. And one of Sand King's weaknesses in lane is mana. And guess what? You got that too.
Yeah,
so
very true.
Oh, that was a dirty kill.
Jeez.
GPK is doing a great job, just like last game against Xiaowei. This time, Xiaowei doing a little bit better on the CS relatively, but he also has an easier matchup. That, oh my god, there's a caustic. Boom! So they timed that perfectly. They got a caustic into Illuminate into Sand King stun. Very nice. Very beautiful.
Yeah, that's, I mean, Void's a pretty, I mean, for an agility carry, he's one of the harder ones to kill in lane. As long as you have time walk, he can just need so much burst damage. But
that's definitely something Sand King does well, is what Void doesn't want to do. You don't want to time walk off small amounts of damage, right? Yeah, that's true. But every time there's a caustic kill, you need to decide, is this worth it or not? And usually you say no, and that means over time you get to 60% health, then you get to 50, and then what just happened happens. Has to be careful, and maybe they're going to need to ferry down some extra regen. They do have a decent... Oh, look at that damage on him right now. Nightfall is actually almost dying here. Will use his stick charges to stay alive. Gets salved by Kingslayer, but he's under pressure. He's not having as easy a time in lane as last game.
Yeah, I mean, it's 18 and 6 CS, though, versus 15 and 8 for the Gyro. So similar CS from each respective carry. So that's at least one benefit, I guess. Or silver lining, I should say. Is Faith Beyond now getting chased up here? This might be a kill. Indeed it is, with that last right click from Nightfall. So, despite losing this lane, they're coming back, it seems.
I don't really think they're losing it, especially not anymore after that kill. I guess you were right before. Coddle was far ahead on net worth against the Phoenix. So yeah, I think you're right. They were ahead, but... That's interesting as well. Time dilation against Coddle, right? You have the CDR of Chakra, but they're still locked. So he couldn't. He tried to give mana to Sand King to give him another spell, but the cooldown was still like 10 seconds each. It's an interesting interaction.
Looks like Ame is just going to TP out in the face of danger, and Y is left all alone. But he's trying to take out Save in the meantime. Won't have the right click damage to do so though. Now Ame is here in a 2v1 versus DM, but the Blood Right is there. Something we didn't mention. Well, he hasn't gotten it yet. Actually, no, it's from Thirst, I believe, was changed, right? Where it denies to give you half the HP. So that's...
Oh, Illuminate. Oh, okay.
Didn't quite clip. But that's a big quality of life for Bloodseeker in lane from this last patch.
For sure.
What are your thoughts on Gyro this patch? We talked about the Shard before with the Rocket Barrage attached to it, but that's not really something you would probably get as a position 1.
I tried it in a game, and I've seen it.
You were excited.
I was like, this sounds like so much fun, and it kind of sucked. But it was just one game, so you never know. Like, it might have its uses, but it's so conditional, right? It sounds amazing because you just chase them, but it's only in those exact situations where you're chasing and they're not getting hit by the rocket hit that you get your value. So kind of gimmicky overall. I think Gyro is still good, though. The thing I've noticed about this patch that a lot of the teams are taking advantage of, actually, Ame is taking some serious damage top as well. They might dive him fully here. 4 poison stacks from Save. 1 more would do the kill, I think.
He's trying to run away right now. Does dodge 1 more Shadow Poison and another. So he'll take the full 4 stacks here. Sand King ends up dying in the bot lane.
Now Save is probably dead.
Yeah, Save. He has done a lot of damage to Ame, so he has to be a bit careful here. Blood Right, not going to be able to be there, but why now? Just trying to get this kill onto Save. Looks like they'll find it one way or another, but it's going to be a trade of sorts. Although there is a charge coming in from the mid Spirit Breaker. I don't know if we've mentioned that we have a mid Spirit Breaker on our hands, Cinderin.
You're right.
That's from base, so it'll be quite slow.
It takes a long time to connect here.
Do you agree with the panel in terms of the itemization for Xiaowei needing to be slightly different?
I don't actually know how good I think BKB is here as an early item. I think I'll disagree with it just because there's still too many problems, right? Like, if you BKB here, you still get Chronoed, you can still get Demonic Perch, you can still get Ruptured. I don't think it solves the inherent problems. I think you should play... It's one of those things, you know, I love to say with glass half full, glass half empty kind of thing, where you could be like, yeah, there's so many things that counter me, but you could also focus on what are the things I can do. I think Shadowblade is incredible this game.
Right.
You're against Void and Void, and both of those heroes just really don't want to get caught off guard. So I think that is a great item. Can debate whether he should buy the full Silver Edge or not, but I think getting early BKB is just not going to give him enough impact.
Wow, that was actually really close.
That was super close from GPK.
Almost finding himself a very, very valuable kill.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But yeah. So overall, in terms of net worth, relatively even, I suppose, as the stacks are starting to take out here between both Gyro and the Coddle. But GPK trying to counteract this a bit. hasn't found the big ones quite yet. Looks like the gyro.
Oh, he doesn't have the simulate ready.
Zhao 8 gets the charge. Another strike. Not quite there. GPK, Solar Bind is keeping him very slow. Into Roche Pit you go. And he's going to have to get denied. Nicely done from GPK.
Really nice.
We have 3 more charges again on Gyrocopter here.
All downing the corpse.
All right. Looks like he's mega dead as we're going to have another Faith Beyond death in the bot lane, which is something we did miss earlier. But lots of kills this game. I mean, this is kind of what you get with a Spirit Breaker game, I feel like.
Except last game where you had 0 kills minute 16 with Spirit Breaker.
For them, yeah. But
yeah. Oh, that's true.
Somebody
gave kills to the other team. Great.
Yeah, absolutely. See a little replay here.
And it sucks for GPK to die, but ultimately he stole away some of their stacks. He takes big rotations, and he dies to Roche. So honestly, that is pretty damn good. Still gonna have a laugh at that.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're talking about how countered Spirit Breakers. I thought it would be a really good opportunity to first pick them and then just flex it as a support. Because if you're countering, like all these picks are being used to be at least okay, if not amazing, against Spirit Breaker. And if it's against the support, like, who cares, you know?
Yeah. They must really feel like they're onto something with this Xiao 8 one. Like, again, it's a better Spirit Breaker game than the last one, I think, but it's still not great. Yeah. But he's going to find a way. He's going to go Echo Saber again. I think he's going to go for the same build. I think he's going to go Echo Saber, Shadow Blade, maybe full Silver Edge, and then Ags. Okay. I would love to see him not by BKB, maybe even at all.
Yeah, not a strong BKB game. I mean, the disruption's always annoying, but Rupture obviously, I mean, maybe even Lincoln's could have some value. Disruption
is annoying, but if you have the Shadow Blade, you're going to play on the angle anyway of not getting disrupted. And in case you do, the disruption is so short with Bulldoze. Like, it's less than a second, I think, when you have Bulldoze maxed out.
Does Lotus cancel charge?
No, you charge toward each other.
No, like if you're charged, can you cast Lotus on yourself?
If you're charged and then you Lotus?
If you're charging and you Lotus yourself, does it stop charge?
Oh, I see what you mean. I think so, yes.
Okay.
I do think so.
Well, I'm going to have a bash here from Zhao 8 into the charge and a death for Kingslayer. So 4-5, 1K net worth lead right now for PSG.LGD. He's looking a lot better than last game, as you alluded to. All the kills in the game combined right now were for VP last game, 9-0 start, I believe. But you got to give LGD credit because that was a game that, like, against any other team for the most part, I feel like that it would just snowball to a 20K, 30K, 40. Like, it would just get completely out of hand.
Yeah.
Where they actually fought back and made it a match.
Interesting to see CQ's build here, by the way. The triple null has become popular among mid-coddles because it allows you to one-shot a creep wave with max-level Illuminate. He does it even as position 4. So really valuing that ability to just shove out an entire wave in one go, and it is very good.
Good attempt there from Faith Beyond. He's going to get off the epicenter, though, onto GPK. He's going to use nice on the other side. Why? Just going to be taken out very shortly by these illusions. In all likelihood, he's trying to run away. Looks like he will finally fall. So it's a 1-for-1 support for support. There's the disruption, and now VP completely surrounding Zhao 8, but there's the Burrow Strike from Faith Beyond. And the Rupture into a Chronosphere. Not the greatest combo in the world, but Nightfall's going to, at the very least, try to get Faith Beyond, and he does so. And away Zhao 8 goes. I'm not sure who was ruptured there, but...
I think they ruptured the Sand King. So, yeah, they didn't get that much value out of it when they chronoed him right after, but it still does a little bit of impact damage now, the Rupture.
True.
How much is it? 10%?
I believe this is the 3rd reiteration of Rupture now.
Yep.
In the history of Dota.
Just another 15, and then it's OD in the last year.
That's true.
We'll get there.
Bloodseeker's never been a complicated hero. I would say OD has been a complicated. I mean, reading his previous shard was complicated to think about. When would that be useful? And Valve's like, good point. Let's put something brand new in. Let's allow you to move with extra imprisonment. Goodness gracious. Why are we talking about OD so much?
We're done.
Stop bringing him up,
I guess.
Please.
He will get
trouble. Yeah, disruption. Just enough vision there to get it off. Bloodright's following though. Okay,
he's not
dying. Actually fine.
They didn't have Rupture, so it's like whatever gets out of there.
It just came up now. Looks like.
Xingqiu going for.
All right, Smoke while Zhao is already charging here. Gets off that bulldoze. Save is gonna get charged into the Nether Strike and brought down quite easily. Now DM is in a lot of trouble. Last words there.
Solar Bind. Gets silenced.
Yeah, he is mega dead. There are some reinforcements on the other side. Now they're actually going to just let him die here. No big surprise there. We do see Echo Saber again.
Is under attack.
All right, what are your thoughts? I mean, we kind of talked about this as a meme build, but obviously if he's doing it 2 games in a row, Echo Saber on Spirit Break, I mean, it theoretically makes sense.
That's strong. For core Spirit Breaker, I don't think it's a meme build. I think if you're a core Spirit Breaker and you want to deal damage, you need to get your bashes out, and this gives you another free roll of the dice.
I call it a meme build because anytime I build it, you call it a meme build.
That's because when you build items, it's a meme build.
I see. Okay, so it's me.
I don't know. I've never played to do a Spirit Breaker before, and I hope I never will.
Okay.
So we'll keep it a meme build.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Played with your lifesteal the other day. Don't play core with me ever again.
Yep. No comment on that. Zhao 8 looks like he's going to get... Okay, that's the global silence coming out, but the Yule's canceling the TP, so Zhao 8 just left to fend for himself here. 8th Remnant, and just too much.
Yep. That's a lot of gold. 370 for that. He had a 3 kill streak. So GPK gets 370, and then there's also the AoE gold on top for his teammates. So nicely done. So something I was just thinking now, right? In the last game, there was this Phantom Lancer, and he had a really free game and was amazing in the game. What I think part of the reasoning LGD likes the Spirit Breaker first pick is 2 things. First of all, I think it's good against Caudle, which is becoming a very popular first phase pick for the teams, because you see him anywhere, you just charge him, and you have that info, and you can get on top of him, you can solo kill him a lot of the time. The second thing is, if you're creating this much chaos with this mid here, and he's constantly just forcing and fighting the enemy team, guess who's having a blast? It's Ame. It's just...
Yep.
He's been totally uncontested because Zhao 8 is just an attention sponge in this game. Everything is about where's Spirit Breaker going, what's he doing next, and he does it while finding
they're going to run right into him, though. Caster Curse is real, and this is going to be way too much damage to withstand for Ame.
Zhao 8 didn't make a move in 20 seconds, and there you go. Then they found someone else.
Oh, Burrow Strike not going to Shadow Demon. Is wise in the vicinity as well, so he's going to get some int out of this at the very least.
Nope.
Blood right, though. Onto a couple. Quick little connect, and another death here. So it's a 1-for-1 in this little engagement here, but the egg is going to be popped. Oh, no chrono quite yet. Faithman trying to get off the epicenter. Will do so. Nightfall now on the run, but the stun is there from Kingslayer's egg. And down goes Faith Beyond. 3-for-1 as they continue to try to take out the Void. Zhao 8.
I'm surprised he didn't try for the ult there.
And well, Kingslayer now left to fend for himself as Jin Q will just get the casual right click into death.
Nice ult to secure the tower here from GBK, and then he turns into Little Piggy.
Piggy.
What do you think about that spell name, Pigging Out?
It's great.
Okay.
It should have like, I hope the lore is about like him eating like a bunch of bacon or something.
That would be cannibalism.
That's true. You're eating yourself in that case. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I want to promote that.
Can run faster if you weigh less, so...
Sure.
You just take off a little bit of your weight
I'm told.
by eating it.
All right, we have an impact move with the pig pull here. Nice duel, like you said. And pig pull now. There we go.
That's what I call impact.
Beautiful.
Impigged.
Impigged pull.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either.
Good.
We've had this conversation before that sometimes I make a bad joke on purpose. And then a lot of the time people think I think it's really funny. And then it's just really awkward because I thought it was really funny.
I just know you too well. So we have a global silence. Look like it for the bot lane, but nothing's going to come of it. Take that back as Zhao 8 attempting to charge in the top.
See you later, nerds.
Yep.
Oh, wait. See you now. He canceled it. Well, they're going to turn it around maybe. I want to mention Sinkyu's build. He almost has an item we haven't seen on Caudle this tournament, I think. He's going to the Aghanim Scepter, so we'll get the Ignis Fat to us.
Ignis Fatus back at it again. Zhao 8's going to get successful charge. Not going to end up going for the Nether Strike, though, as Nightfall. Okay. Unlocks a lot of that damage. He's super dead. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, man, action all over the place. Faith Beyond in a 1v2 will not be getting out of this alive. And now Ame is still in the jungle, despite having...
Oh, this Illumina's gonna hurt.
Kind of numbers. Yeah. You can just see death coming from a mile away, and nothing you can do.
The last word procced, I think, so he got silenced. He had already dove, right? He didn't have dive. But he could have supernova to survive, technically. But yeah. Caudle is a hero right now. Very, very strong hero in Dota. Now he's got the Ignis, so just to recount this spell, we haven't seen it all tournament, I think. 6 hits.
Agents
And the
of
radius is
void.
725.
Just a quick question. Is it actually still called Ignis Fatus, or is that a reference to Dota 1?
It says summons Ignis Fatuus at the targeted area.
Oh, it actually does. I do remember when his old ult was,
Radiant are
he spawned an orb, right?
Yeah, and then that orb would make little soldiers.
Right, and that orb was actually called Ignis Fatus.
Yep, it was.
Good Dota lore.
Yep.
Good Dota trivia.
Absolutely.
All right, well,
I'm trying to think why he's choosing this, right? It's one thing to buy Axe, which was kind of common for support calls in the past, but considering how farmed he was, he could have gone Dagon 5, he could have gone a Dagon Veil, he could have got Boots of Travel, and, you know, done almost a mid-call. Like, look at his farm. Yeah. He has 7.6k net worth as position 4. Yeah. So he definitely had plenty of options. I'm trying to think, what is the reason for getting this? Do they want to try to contain people in Ame's reach? Does it have some sort of interaction with Spirit Breaker, or is it just... I mean, it's obviously feel good, right? You have a lot of AoE spells, Global, Epicenter, all of Gyro's damage. So maybe you're just trying to contain the fight in an area, and that's it. And that's not much more to it.
VP has a ton of AoE, right? So they want to fight, and they're forcing you to fight in AoE.
Right.
Like
So you like...
Chrono and Rupture and
You just match.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Invisibility.
I like it. I mean, you're right, though. Dagon has kind of been the build, right? That's been the meme that turned out to be actually quite effective.
I'm thinking especially with position 5, or position 4, if you have this level of farm and you can start almost one-shotting cores, that's incredible for a 4 to do.
That reminds me of AUI back in the day. You'd be in the jungle illuminating creeps back in the TI5 days. Just come out in the jungle with a million, like, top net worth.
Yeah. Close game again, though.
Speaking of top net worth, we're going to hold that thought. Zhao Wei gets the successful charge with the Nether Strike to follow. Global Silence on top of it with Ignis Fatus.
Okay.
That's a lot.
There you go.
For a Bloodseeker.
Yeah, so they had to read that Shadow Demon was behind, so they Global Silence to prevent disruption. But with our vision, that was obviously a waste. Like, yeah, he could have been disrupted, then it would just killed him after, right? There was no backup coming in. But with the information available to PSG.LGD, that seems like a reasonable choice. Now Shadow Blade's complete, going into the Silver Edge and the next. Same build, same strategy from Xiao.
Uh-oh. Charge. Missile. Assimilate's already been used. Xiao is
fast.
Hidden in the cover of Shadow Blade. Actually cancels it there.
Yep.
Not wanting to commit. But looking at the farm discrepancy between the two position ones, pretty close between Nightfall and Ame. Right now working on an S and Y for Nightfall. He already has the Maelstrom Echo Saber. And for Mr. Gyrocopter, does have the Ags, along with the Dragon Lance and more than that for now. He's actually going Sange. So I assume S and Y, but typically you just get the Yash. Oh wait, he's going BKB now. Never mind. All right, he switched it up.
This is the Kayasan for GPK though. Almost completed. Has the Yules, he has to buy that against Silencer. So it's not really much of a choice there. That's just mandatory in this game, pretty much. It was either that or BKB. And it's going to get Kaisanj for the value. Mono region damage, status assist against all these stuns.
No.
Kaisanj still doesn't buy you enough status assist that you can stop charge into Nether Strike. So that is still going to be something he has to deal with. And it's going to come out of Invis. So save really needs to... it's honestly pretty challenging to play Shadow Demon in this game. You need to protect the right heroes at the right time. You never know when Spirit Breaker is going to strike. They're going to go in for Gyro.
Jungle, yep. Chronosphere onto 2. Ignis Fatus on the side. Can they get this kill before he gets this life steal? It's only a Morbid Mask. He's stuck in place thanks to the Rupture. That's a lot of life steal thanks to the Agnum Scepter. But they should be able to blow up. It's going to be a 1-for-1 for the position ones. But VP are falling big time. 3-for-1 now is a 5k net worth lead for PSG.LGD. This is going to be a full team wipe. That did not go as planned for VP.
The counterplay of LGD is just so strong. Yeah, you get this Chrono, but the immediate Ignis just keeps pulling Void away in the Chrono. The Blinding Light especially just ruins him. And when all of their heroes come back in and connect, and Gyro gets to... Yeah, they killed the Gyro. Look at the damage breakdown. He did more damage than any hero in that fight, even though he died. Yeah. He's got everything out before he died, and it's just easy cleanup crew for the boys. Just coming in and grabbing everything. Xiao
Radiant's middle tower.
Actually not going to get the tower. Went to Sand King. Silver Edge complete. He is almost the same net worth as the enemy carry on his mid Spirit Breaker.
It's going much better now that there's not a Razor in the game.
Yes.
And I believe Viper was banned as well. So.
And the Faceless Void Match was also a lot better than the PL.
Yeah.
It's someone you easier connect on. And there's the Ignis just pulling him out, the Blinding Light.
Yeah, very
Arma gets off everything. Now they finally connect in with the Sunray and GPK, which is what eventually nets them the kill, but they've just dropped literally everything for this. And that Global Silence is going to allow them to kill the egg.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Nightfall to fight without a BKB, I feel like. I assume that's what he's building next, yeah. So that is next on the plate for Mr. Faceless Void. I mean, do you think Void is... Oh, we're going to see Faith Beyond taken out here with that charge poison.
He might connect this and go. He has ults.
Yep, he's going for it with the Shadow Blade. Gets the bash as well. But there's the disruption to cancel the Nether Strike. And GPK
Look how short
outside the AoE of the Ignis Fatus.
Oh my goodness.
Like, it's fine. Everyone's getting out.
And so Xiao, he really wants to get off the Silver Edge hit after the charge. But if you do that onto Sancho, then you don't have time. He has to instantly ult after it connects, and that means you will forfeit your bonus damage from the Silver Edge. But if you don't, you're letting him out. So with that in mind, like, what are you looking to break anything? Because I'm questioning why you need to go for Silver Edge and not just keep it as a Shadow Blade. Does it last longer? I can't even remember. It might be a couple seconds longer, but it's also just a feels good item with all the damage, right?
It is.
It gives him way more of a chance at solo killing heroes because of that backstab damage, as long as it's not on the... We're going to see it here. Haha, not
next, but Glimmer Cape saves him. No counter for that.
You were going to see it if you didn't have Glimmer. How much damage that Silver Edge hit would have.
Look at that damage!
And then once you get that hit off, it's not just one hit, right? Your Silver Edge hit is a double hit because you have the Echo Saber component as well, and then you ult. So, yeah, I think upgrading it is really, really good value for Spirit Breaker. The critical strike damage. Think about how you play SB in a lot of situations where it's like, oh, I wish I had a bit more damage. You're always relying on your teammates to finish the kill. You just have so much more to give when you have that guaranteed critical backstab damage as well. That he can solo kill Shadow Demon, for example. Just kills him out of one charge.
Yeah, LGD looking very good in this game. 6K net worth lead. They are smoked up. Satanic getting very close for Ame. And I assume if they get a kill here, they'll just go straight into the Roche Pit. But for now, they're just going to farm the Ancients of VP. Xiao is scary. Like, you see him on the map, but he could be anywhere, right? He has a lot of global presence. Starting to see the value out of this the Spirit Breaker. As they're just going to go for Roche the old-fashioned way. Just walk in there. Good to go. You can see the heat map for Spirit Breaker. That's awesome. Spin all over the place. It looks like this will be uncontested. They're going to smoke up.
Want to do it, but they're too late.
Roshan has
for Gyro.
It fills me with nothingness.
And Xiao's only a couple K away from finishing the Aghanim Scepter for himself.
Damn, he beat the record of Silver Edge, which was set by himself last game.
Wow. Incredible. I'm assuming that's just this patch.
I think it also said that.
Very well played, Xiao. You've broken your own record. If they end up winning Game 3, we have to congratulate him on breaking his own record.
Yeah.
Especially if he picks it a third time and does it again.
That's true.
That's impressive.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, it would be pretty impressive to beat the record of this game, because he's having a really good game.
Yeah.
Illuminate is such an incredible spell right now. It's like,
yeah, it's maybe a little too good, in my opinion.
You channel for 3 seconds and you just kill an entire creep wave with 3 nulls as a 4. Yeah. As anything. You could get, like, you will easily get 3 nulls in any role if you want. Yeah. So.
Are you saying nulls are too good?
They might be too good, but they also just line up perfectly with this hero.
All right. He's going to have to pop that Will-O-Wisp, but here comes Xiao 8. Global Silence to follow. Just focusing on poor Bloodseeker. DM takes another tumble. Save. Able to TP out, though. Small saving grace here for VP, but this... Yeah, with that charge talent coming to fruition and only 1,000 away, basically, from finishing Ags, Xiao 8 is... I mean, his role is to disrupt, and... when you get this kind of farm, it's pretty scary stuff.
He kills too. It's not just a stunner. That's is the old way of thinking about Spirit Breaker. This guy's an assassin. He's actually just killing heroes. Disruption is obviously a big part of it, but he needs very little help to even kill cores at this point with how strong he is. Charge on
Charge, but they see him with that Sentry. Yep, and Nightfall now trying to pursue. We see the Lotus double Yule Scepter. Xiaowei looks to be just fine. Facebeam actually uses Epicenter there. There's a Chronosphere onto two. They really want that Coddle. Can they take him out? It looks like that's going to be a resounding yes to the Egg to help out to end up getting another CC here for Mr. Sand King. So a nice start to this fight for VP. Now Ame is going to take the brunt of the damage here. He has to stand and fight. As Xiaowei, like you said, just a one-man army, but he is getting bursted down with Nightfall's right click. She's doing so much. Ame does get out with that Aegis, but a resounding fight win there for VP.
That was their best fight of the whole game. They did so many things right. The Chrono Supernova layer is one thing, but the way the Egg was placed was right outside the Chrono on the left side, and all of VP's heroes that had a chance of hitting the Egg were stuck on the right, so they can't really get in. Just the way things started out. The Shadow Demon Disruption super clutch with how fast he was. It might look easy, but that Spirit Breaker comes in really fast. Yeah. So he has to react very quickly and get that disruption out to even set that up to begin with.
It's under attack.
And a nice punish.
But Ame did live. That is a...
he didn't lose Aegis.
Silver lining for sure for LGD.
Gonna see it here. Very quick disruption, and then...
Pretty fast Aether Remnant too.
Yeah, this Yule is basically what makes the play possible. It removes Bulldoze and they just stay on top of him. And then this Chrono gets enabled as a result, and that Egg is just absolutely perfect.
God tier positioning, for sure.
The best possible Egg for Phoenix is inside the Chrono, right? It's where you cast it and then you Chrono on top. But when the Chrono comes out first, this is as good as it's going to get. You have it right nearby, so it does as much damage as possible to these heroes on the outskirts, and at the same time, it was not targetable by LGD's heroes in the positions they were in. That was basically all of Elite's League gone. That one fight. They were up 8K.
Yep.
Now
it's essentially even. Absolutely. So let's get back on track here, Cinderman. We have some items to talk about for each, for VP mostly, since they just won that huge team fight. Why don't you talk about... Aghanim Scepter was picked up though. That's a big one for GPK. So you're going to have the double Resonant Pulse with the Silence attached. Yep. And I mean, what kind of dispels other than the BKBs do they have? Obviously the Bulldoze, if it's activated first, is a great counter, but
he can remove it with Duel. Right, so he can force his silences to have impact on Spirit Breaker. And they also have Demonic Purge, of course.
Ads actually picked up on Silencer.
Save just grabbed full Lotus as well. So he has a bigger chance of surviving and making some clutch counterplays. LGD with the smoke. Not going to find anything. VP are aware, based on the map positionings, that this is a scary area. They're going to even send out a courier here from Void.
Will they snipe it or will they bait it?
And the Silencer Egg, so I guess we should mention as well. Last word AoE. Very powerful.
All he has to do is hit 25 now, and he can mute AoE, mute items.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
That is a
big if.
A very interesting talent indeed.
It's in theory ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you still have to buy it on Silencer. You have to get there at level 25.
Yeah, you need to get one. You never know. Even just the AoE last word in general is also really powerful.
Ame's just running right in. Here comes the BKB and the Chronosphere. Global Silence to follow. My goodness. They just deleted Ame. It was a 1v1. Well, 1v0 really, because he couldn't move.
It really was a 2v0 because Nightfall had double damage.
Okay. 2v0
and a Phoenix Egg.
3v0 worked out pretty well.
Yeah. You usually win those.
I guess. I don't know if we have a big sample size for that, but no, sounds about right.
VP have really found themselves a nice comeback here. I love how they took initiative there. They get the DD. They don't feel scared. They're prepared for this move to happen from LGD and just immediately just get that one-man Chrono out. And the Global Silence can't save him with the double damage running. Hex available for Coddle here. We'll use it and run away.
Will it be enough though? Yep, Epicenter with the Bro Strike. But
nice Lotus.
Lotus Orb applied. My goodness, Facebeam was not expecting that. Aether Remnant will connect yet again, and Facebeam will likely take a fall here with Jin-Q to follow. So just like that, it's basically very close to a team wipe. Kind of separated a bit without the Silencer though.
VP have played so well in the last few minutes. It's really, really impressive. They're going to grab top tier 2 as well. So Nightfall in the meantime wasn't even there. It's just pushing the wave and making the gank less easy to read. And now he's probably going to either stay up here or transition into mid-tier 2. We do have a wave here with Shadow Demon. And the Lotus from Save there, absolutely godly.
Yep. And the tier 2 tower going to take heavy damage here.
It's falling.
Oh, I'm still correct. It's taking heavy damage.
Yep.
And then will eventually fall. That's kind of how it goes. You know?
It's falling. I'm correct.
Okay. Looks like Shadow Demon is building. It's trying to go for a shard, by the way. That's pretty cool. So Demonic Purge can be cast on allies, which dispels them and heals. Pretty cool.
What does he want to dispel with this?
Solar Bind.
Solar Bind, last word.
I mean, he can dispel Global Silence because he can just Lotus himself, right? First.
True. Yeah, he can dispel Global on an ally. Yeah. Which is really good for Phoenix, I guess. Right. I don't know if he's going to get an Ags this game, but obviously quite a ways away as a support, but that would be the ultimate combo. Yeah. Yeah, I like the sound of the shard in this game. I think it's pretty good.
Well, Ame has a crit stick, just a Crystallis right now, and going for a... Okay, so he's going Mjolnir with just a casual Crystallis. Is that right? Or something coming on the courier? That's interesting. Yeah, nothing's coming. Just a casual Crystallis. I don't know if I've seen that. Oh, that's a nice chrono. Onto 2 with the Sunray there. 2 supports dead in the blink of an eye.
I guess Sand King is basically a support this game.
That's true, I forgot.
He has less net worth than the Caudle still, so they're kind of rating him as a 4. I mean, but it was the Caudle who's kind of a 3, so...
I mean, Sand King as a 3, it feels like he doesn't really end up farming that much a lot of the time anyway.
That's true.
And this is actually a really good game to have a position 3 Sand King because the 4 can end up taking the farm, right?
Yeah.
I like that. But VPF just really turned this game around. 5k net worth lead now. As Zhao 8 working on a BKB for himself. Oh, GBK pinging. They have
Silver Edge ran out. They see him.
Oh, very awkward moment there as they both looked each other in the eye. And Zhao 8 gets decimated. Looks like Dagon is next for GPK. That should be interesting.
Soul Catcher is just so disgusting sometimes. Like,
okay, it was the Daedalus. Okay.
The amount of damage Shadow Demon does in a move like that is just absurd, right? That Soul Catcher deals more damage than Finger of Death. I believe it. Used it on a full HP Spirit Breaker. It did 1,000 pure damage, like basically right away.
And that's going to combo real nicely with the Dagon.
I love that the damage breakdown says 52. But it isn't considered damage. It's just like HP removal. Yeah. It's HP. It's borrowing. It gives it back, but what would you call that? If you borrow something from someone, but you don't own it, and then you give it back. You know what I mean?
You borrow it.
Yeah, but you don't have it either. It just disappears temporarily, and then they get it back.
This sounds like a really weird question that I don't really want to think about during a cast of Dota, right?
That's what it's like casting with you every game. You ask me those questions every time, so now it's my turn.
That's not true. I asked you legitimate questions that are interesting.
Okay.
That was not interesting at all.
I thought it was.
Okay.
I bet there's a word for that. He'll come up.
Why don't you just make one up? How about that, Syndra?
So if it's... No, I was going to go with blending because it's like borrowing and blending, but that's kind of the same.
Sure, whatever you want, buddy. All right, so Nightfall...
He got blended.
All right, he got blended real good. So Nightfall has the Daedalus now, Aegis, and Shard. So his Time Walk is a ridiculous range. And he has the little reverse Time Walk action if he wants to use it.
Backtrack, which is nice against Caudle.
Indeed. Has a Lotus reply, so Zhao...
Oh my god. What?
Faith Beyond is no longer here. Yep. Ignis Fatuus was used as well, and they could just wait it out and continue to go high ground. Man, that was a deletion like I've never seen. Nightfall. Gonna get Hex. Here comes the egg, though. The buyback on the Sand King now is the Chronosphere on top of the egg. Gyrocopter taking a beating. Do they have enough damage to actually take him out before? Yes. No BKB for you. 84 seconds on the deck. No buyback for Ame at all. We get the Shadow Demon and the Aegis to boot, but Nightfall is going to continue on its rampage here. Ignis Fatuus is somehow up again. What is the cooldown of this freaking spell? Nightfall doesn't care. We'll reverse Time Walk back and start hitting some buildings.
Well, the code is 60, but you can refresh it with...
Oh my god. Okay. Double kill Nightfall. He is online, I do believe. Level 26. Looking pretty good, it seems. GPK. Looks like he'll get a nice Aether Remnant there, pushing Jin Q out of the fountain. I didn't even know you could do that. That's hilarious. They're going to get the top racks as a result of not having anybody to face right now and absolutely no buyback. It's not very often you see like no buybacks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dire structures are
And this is going to be at least 2 lanes.
What is GPK doing? He's just setting up Aether Remnants. What is this? Hit the buildings with your team. Oh, he's buying Dagon. Okay.
So
buying time to buy Dagon. Yeah. I feel like if you buy items from the enemy shop, it should be buffed in some fashion, you know? Like,
yeah, that would be another nerf to Fountain. You would love that.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of counterintuitive. Either way, 2 barracks now, 2 set of racks, I should say, for VP. They're just going to back up and go back to farming. And you can see they're very thrilled about this potential Game 2 victory over PSG.LGD. Of course, for those that haven't been keeping up, PSG.LGD is working with Zhao8 as a stand-in, and he is picking Spirit Breaker mid every single game. Has not
He's
worked
also
out.
thrilled.
Honestly, it's pretty good, though. I can definitely see what they're going for.
I can too. I mean, they were in a good position in this game. They just got outplayed. Like, VP have just taken a couple of incredibly good team fights.
Right. All right. Global Silence is there. Gets off the Nether Strike, but it's not enough to kill Kingslayer, who gets off the Lotus Orb now. It's Nightfall. Just continuing on. He's just going to beat down Zhao8 quite easily. Now Rupture onto Ame. BKB has to stand his ground. The Satanic is keeping alive for quite a while, but the Chronosphere is there. And just too much to deal with. Faith Beyond does end up getting the Epicenter off, but looks like the GGs are called as VP take this 2-0. It looked like LGD were on their way to Game 2 victory. But like you said, VP just